Welcome to Insight and Influence, a podcast presented by C&G Strategies, bringing you insightful conversations from influential people, including government officials, industry leaders, and advocates from across the state.
All right, welcome to episode 17 of our Insight and Influence podcast. It's our last episode of 2025. I can't imagine better guests than the two we have today. I'm Rob Vescio from C&G Strategies, and we have Christina Cassotis, President and CEO of the Allegheny County Airport Authority. Welcome.
Thank you. I'm thrilled to be here. I'm so honored. It's the last podcast of the season. We must really rate.
Well, I don't want to say we saved the best for last. We'll probably insult the rest of our guests, but this was a good one.
Okay. I'm good with that. Totally fine with that.
And we have State Senator Devlin Robinson from the 37th Senatorial District.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Representing the airport, by the way.
That's right.
Representing the airport. So he is the senator for the airport. How about that?
Crown jewel in my district.
100%. Thank you for that. Okay.
So it's been amazing 2025. We're coming to a close. Here we are talking about the latest, which is the new front door to the world.
It is open, finally, and we made it right before Thanksgiving. That was the goal all along. I think there were a lot of people who strangely kept saying to me, "Do you really think you're going to open in 2025?" I said, "Of course we are." So nice to be open.
There weren't any challenges, though.
Oh,
of course not.
It's so easy. So easy. Yeah. It is complex to build while you're operating and to do it in the bubble of a public utility, but also to do it in a community that cares so much about its airport. So I think that was a phenomenal asset to us, the community, certainly the support with members of our delegation, especially people like Senator Robinson. It made a huge difference to have that support all the way through. And it's open and it's working. It's not perfect, but it's working.
I think it's really impressive that, you had an airport that was running business as usual while you're building $1 billion plus enterprise.
Yes. Yeah.
So it was very impressive, and it came in on time and under budget.
Ish.
It's working. It's there. It's open.
Yeah, it is, and it's to your point, Rob. It is a new front door to the region, and it's one that says it conveys a very different message than what the former terminal conveyed as it got older. Let's be really clear. When that terminal was first built, it was right. It was the right thing. It was phenomenal for Pittsburgh. It put Pittsburgh, or continued to put Pittsburgh, on the map. And it's 33 plus years in. It was time. So I'd say that it's working really well. We have been shocked at how well it's, the big system, the baggage, the check-in, TSA, all of that. We've got some wayfinding issues to address, and we definitely have some small things, but this is nothing that would have kept us from opening is my point. So, yeah.
So I have a story.
Tell me.
Because
of course everybody has a story.
When we were talking about the design, you're talking about Pittsburghers and how they like to drop off and show up.
Yeah.
So my mother calls me right after you open. It was, you guys just opened. My sister's flying in from California.
San Francisco.
From San Francisco. And she calls me. She said, "Where do I park?" And I was like, oh my God, I thought about Christina Cassotis right there and how she told us she built this airport for Pittsburghers. And that was my mother was the first one.
Yes. And that is, it is so typical. From the terminal we sit in today, we can see the traffic.
Yeah.
And right around Thanksgiving, there were very long lines for pickup because it's Thanksgiving weekend. Of course, there are going to be long lines. But I just looked at the fact that, first of all, it would have been worse if we hadn't built this because we have an extended roadway now. But, it just, to me, it was just like, see, it is. Pittsburgh is delivering on the promise.
So, all right, the terminal opening was, the major storyline, I guess, of 2025.
Still is.
Neighborhood 91. Max Manufacturing. Again, it's not just about the airport, it's also the vision of the property, right? And what you're looking at doing there. First off, Senator Robinson, you were the sponsor of the Max Manufacturing bill, which is tremendous because it's going to generate lots of opportunity in neighborhood 91. So first off, thank you on behalf of the airport.
Oh yeah, big thank you for that. It makes a big difference to have support like this because we can't do this alone. It's actually, we're really good at running an airport, but it's much more involved in sort of more it's more obvious economic development, I would say, and
right on site.
Yeah, we can't do it without support because we're incubating an industry.
And that's where I was headed with this. Is like where is the vision? Like, so having this neighborhood campus right next to the airport, right, and the whole system around Neighborhood 91 advanced manufacturing. It's like, what is the goal now? I guess moving forward as to what we're going to utilize this for and how we're going to grow this.
Well, I have a lot of meetings.
Lots of meetings.
A lot of people come into my office and you try to weed through everything and you try to take a look at, what is going to be the best return on investment for the region. And when Neighborhood 91 and Max Manufacturing came up, it was like, okay, that's what we're going to focus on. Incentivizing additive manufacturing companies to start setting up a base of operations here in Western Pennsylvania. It was kind of a no-brainer. And it was something that I really enjoyed advocating for. So, and I'm going to keep advocating for it.
And it was bipartisan.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, it was definitely something that, not in this day and age, that we're seeing a lot of.
Right. But that's one of the things I think that is so great for us as an airport is that we benefit from that all the time. And a lot of what we do just makes sense and people can understand it. They can get behind it and support it. And then some people go the extra mile and introduce bills to actually make sure that it gets supported.
That's right. And actually get them passed.
And get them passed. So, the whole idea for Neighborhood 91 was really how do we accelerate the adoption of 3D printing with metals? These are high value goods that are getting produced. And whether it's for aerospace, defense, or something else, we have all of the raw materials within a 2-hour drive of Pittsburgh. So let's be the place where all facets of that ecosystem can come together. So it's a newer industry and hadn't found a home yet in the United States. So it costs money to produce a part, say in Dallas, heat treat it in Tulsa, ship it again over to somewhere else to have it, finished. That takes money. It takes time. So if we could put everything in the same neighborhood, then we could actually get things produced faster. And what we're seeing is that these companies that are there already have already started to share resources and get things done. So to be able to scale that, we can't do on our own. And that's really where the Max Manufacturing Bill and the support that Senator Robinson has lent his name to and his time to has made a big difference, and it's going to make a big difference as we move forward. So thank you.
Yeah, it was a no-brainer because, I running my own business for a number of years, and in business school, they always talked about inventory management. And so additive manufacturing is a way to kind of cut that down and get to what they're all looking for is just-in-time inventory.
Yep, and in high value stuff. I mean, at one point, the arm of the Mars rover was produced at Neighborhood 91.
Really?
Because we have one of the largest 3D printing machines in the country is located at Neighborhood 91. So it can produce stuff like that. That's a very high value piece of equipment. And then, because we're at an airport, it can get shipped out right away, right? So there's a lot that makes sense about why it's at the airport. Our goal would be to have it spill out past the airport, right? But we can incubate it and we can make sure that we're putting our resources through, our cap money, et cetera, that helps with site prep and the like. That helps us do things that can kickstart the industry and kickstart its location as with a home in Pittsburgh. That's the goal.
And then you have the third, which is cargo, because now you're doing shipping, which is massive because that's what kind of got us through the pandemic, right?
Yes, it did. And cargo is really important for us. It's such a weird industry. I mean, it's so volatile. It's so cyclical. And we look, now that the terminal's open, now we get to pay attention to lots of other things. Neighborhood 91 is clicking along nicely, and we expect to see more growth there. With cargo, we've opened cargo 4. We've got a lot of federal support and state support for that, which was huge. And now we're really looking at where, who's going to come in and utilize that facility. Yep. Yeah.
That transitions us to the future. Okay. We got a lot going on, right? So we have this fantastic new facility, right? We have our business park in 91. Other things we're working on is sustainable aviation fuel.
Still, yes,
Yeah.
there's still a market for it, and our goal is really to extend the idea of energy independence and energy diversity to our airline partners. And if we take a look at what's happening with data centers and the massive amount of energy that they consume, we want to make sure that we're doing everything we can to contribute to the supply of energy and to the diversity of that. So we have the ability, again, to put our property to work. And we have enough space to locate a sustainable aviation fuel facility. We have airlines that could use the fuel, and we have a pipeline to the river so that if we needed to export that fuel to other airports in the Northeast or the Mid-Atlantic, we could do that. So we're not there yet. We have partners who will be making that final investment decision because it's not our money that will be put to use, but it is our land. So we're very involved in that.
And just it's really exciting from a national defense perspective.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Think of where Pittsburgh sits in the United States. It's safe. It's safe from natural disasters.
Yes. Yeah.
It's
right.
it's in the middle of the continent.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a place that could really take off and grow in the near future.
And we are I think the largest energy exporting state in the country, from what I understand.
So we're the largest now.
We
I
are
think
the
you are,
largest.
yeah.
We are.
Okay.
I was listening to, actually, I gave a talk at the Beaver County Chamber of Commerce,
very nice.
and there
Very
was
regional.
hey,
like that.
listen, it was my first one post opening, so
Perfect.
I was giving a talk, and then after me was somebody from PJM
BGM is there.
PJ, yes, and explained how it all works, and talked about the fact that Pennsylvania is a net energy exporter, but for Pennsylvania, there would be a whole lot of states who would perhaps not do as well because they have to import. So, we have a lot that we can do with that, and we want to be able to put it to use to continue to benefit the industry. We're already putting some of those assets to use at the airport because we're the only airport in the world still that is completely energy independent because of our microgrid, and that's natural gas and solar. So, okay, we did it for us. Now let's extend that same set of benefits around resiliency, redundancy, diversity, independence to the airlines, and that's what we're working on.
So the sustainable aviation, the tax credit, there's a bill in the state Senate and the House right now that's we're moving.
Thank you. Move it.
Move it.
Get it moving.
Need a tax
We're
code. So
working
we're
on
going
it.
to talk to the leadership about getting a tax code done.
I mean,
this year.
listen. When you're standing stuff up that's new, you have to help, and that's why max manufacturing is so important, because at some point you want it to go past us,
Right.
but we need to get it moving. So yes.
But what this will do, like you were discussing, is like just having it on property,
Oh, it's
and
huge.
that's going to bring not just jobs and so forth, but also maybe more cargo,
Yeah.
maybe more
Yep.
flights into this area.
Yeah, I mean, if you're,
Repairs
I'm sorry.
and repairs, like flight, like airplanes, like
The
repairing
parts.
and
Yeah.
so forth. Like there's a lot.
Yes, we have two maintenance facilities on the airport. We've got the Republic Maintenance Base, and American Airlines does a lot of their Airbus narrow body fleet maintenance checks in the airport at the airport, because they have such an amazing team. We have great mechanics in this region. Pittsburgh Institute of Aeronautics out in not your district, but in West
CCBC.
Mifflin.
Oh, West Mifflin. That's
No,
right.
in West Mifflin at Allegheny County Airport. I mean, that's one of the best trade schools in the country, and they do an amazing job of training aircraft mechanics. I mean, for real. And we've actually set them up,
Who would have thought?
but they do.
Right.
And Suzanne Markle and that team does a great job in getting folks ready. So to me, this whole region has a really rich history in supporting this industry. So to the extent that we can all help continue to do that, it tells a bigger story than Pittsburgh Airport.
Right.
It's more of a regional story, and that's always the goal.
Well, let's not forget, too, that there's also a federal Air Force base and a state
Trust me.
Air National Guard base attached right there to the Pittsburgh International Airport.
Yeah, trust me, our military partners are hugely important to us. And we have actually extended their leases and their footprint in order to make sure that they can continue to operate and meet mission, because it's super important to make sure that we continue to support that. And we thank all of them for their service, of course. So, and you. I know you're a veteran.
It's been 20 years since I've been out.
Hey,
20 years.
Yeah.
my dad was a Marine.
That's
so,
right.
You know,
Hoorah.
yeah, hoorah.
And happy birthday. 250th
Yes.
birthday.
That's right.
So talking about the future, obviously, let's keep this facility and help driving traffic to this facility. And your team, which is a wonderful team, is out there constantly trying to bring in new flights.
Well, we do it.
And you do it.
We succeed in it.
It's not just trying; it's
No,
doing.
yeah,
It's
we
succeeding.
do, right. And I know we're going to get to this, but it is not just a question of we need a flight too, so we go ask an airline. I think a lot of people don't really appreciate how hard it is and how competitive it is to get a flight to choose, or an airline to choose Pittsburgh, either to expand service or to start service. So the way I like to explain it is, if you put a pin in a global map, let's just take London, okay? And you draw an 8,000 nautical mile circle around London. That's everywhere that plane can fly. Tell me why it's coming to Pittsburgh. That's what the airlines say to us. So why would we pick you? Why wouldn't I just put another flight into, say, Baltimore? Mm-hmm. Because that's easier than the cost of starting up a new station. It's easier than having to hire people and figuring out whether or not this market is going to make it. So the first thing we have to do is we have to understand their business model and make sure that this market is fitting their business model. The last thing you want is somebody to come in and fail. It's not a good look. And the airlines are like, if they didn't make it, how am I going to make it? Right? So we work really hard. Now, we had an airline like WOW, and they flew to Iceland. And then, their CEO got really ambitious and started saying, hey, cool, let's fly to like India. And the airline didn't make it. So that's not because Pittsburgh was a bad market. It's because WOW didn't make it, right? So when we are attracting any long haul, any international, any airline in particular, we have to have confidence that our market can support it. So, and then we have to compete because they can put that plane anywhere. So we have to tell a story. And the story is never an airport story.
It's a region.
It's a regional story. We don't say, people say, when I first got here, people are like, but they know we have all these gates? I'm like, they don't care. They will park on the grass, okay? What they care about is who's getting on that plane. Is it their customer? Does it match their network idea? Do we make sense? So we spend a lot of time selling the region. And fortunately, because of this community's interest in the airport, we have a lot of people who help us do that.
I was talking about the domestic side of things. Breeze Airline, by the way, the first time I flew to Maine, it was amazing. That was one of those flights that you didn't expect, right? Mm-hmm. And so it was. My son was looking at colleges, and so we flew up to Maine.
Get out of here! I was living in Maine before I took this.
Brandeis too, in Boston, in your old area. So that was another one.
But
so
Maine,
we've been all over the place.
We lived in York.
I didn't. Okay.
I mean, we lived in York, Maine for 17 years. I left
First time
York,
I went to Maine
to move to Pittsburgh. So where do you look?
Bates.
Oh yeah.
And Bowdoin.
Yeah, and Bowdoin, not Bowdoin. Bowdoin. Okay.
Either way, they're expensive.
Did you look at Colby?
Mm-hmm. No, he's going for track, so he's essentially getting track recruiting. So at this point, despite soccer and everything else he's done in his life, but
you liked Breeze.
Love Breeze.
Yeah.
Breeze was.
I took Breeze to Long Island. It was pretty good.
Yeah. So Breeze is
opportunities of growth.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Great.
Breeze is a fantastic airline, and so the story of Breeze is it was founded by David Nealman. David Nealman, when he was in his 20s, founded an airline called Morris Air in Salt Lake City. Sold that airline to Southwest Airlines. Okay? Southwest Airlines says, okay, we bought your airline. Now you have a 5-year non-compete. You can't start a new airline. So he went to Canada, and he started WestJet. And then when his 5 years was up, he came back to the United States, and he is the founder of JetBlue. So this guy he has a track record.
Yeah.
And he does very well. So it doesn't surprise me that you loved Breeze, that both of you loved Breeze. It's a good airline, and we are really encouraged at how they're doing in Pittsburgh, just like the other ultra low-cost carriers and other airlines. By the time we get airlines in, we have had lots of conversations about what those markets look like and what will succeed. So I'm glad you had a good experience.
Mm-hmm. And then, of course, British Airlines. That was fantastic, right? How are they doing?
BA is great. They are, we are constantly monitoring performance to make sure that we're doing well compared to other markets in the U.S. and they take people all over Europe. Didn't you just come back from someplace fun?
Yeah, well, I just came back from Ireland.
Did you take BA?
I did not.
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
okay.
That's
Right. But probably because it was full.
Yes,
You know, it
exactly.
is crazy to me that there are days you cannot get on that plane. So we've done really well. BA is happy with us, but we have to continue to kind of earn our right to hold on to them because, you know, they can move a plane any day they want.
Well, didn't that airline, didn't they start with 3 days a week and now they're
They
full
started
at
with-
6 days?
They started at 4 and then they started with 4 or 5, but they start with 5. Yeah, they started with 5. Then we got to 6. Now we're daily for half the year, and
Wow.
we go back to I think 4 or 5 a week. But you know, the goal is really as the market grows, they'll put the flights in if the market's there to support it. So we have to grow the economy. That's our job
Yep.
That's our job.
as a region.
As a region. Yeah. But one of the things when the pandemic, you had all the success, right? Pandemic hits, right? And then you had to build it back up.
Yeah.
And so, and then you got back to the numbers, which has been amazing. But how fast did that take from the pandemic to get back to those numbers?
It took years. I mean, we didn't recover as quickly as some other markets, but that's just because that's Pittsburgh,
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I would say that it was slow and slower, but very steady growth, and we're back to where we were, and where we would hope to be. Although this year was a little bit less. This year was a little less than we expected just because of the economy from a traffic perspective. But I'll tell you, this last quarter, we're up 10.5% on capacity. So we have seen, you know, the first 3 quarters, again, were far less than what we expected for passenger growth. But in this last quarter, we're definitely seeing the capacity come in. And usually when the capacity comes in, the passengers fill the seats. So, you know, Pittsburgh's a good, solid market. And we want to make sure that whatever we bring in is going to succeed.
Speaking of that, as when this recording comes out, there's a press conference that's happening at this point. It'll be last Thursday.
Yes.
It's pretty great. Isn't
Big
it?
news. Really
Big
big
news.
Yeah.
I mean,
so why don't
You guys want to
break it?
share?
No, I think
'Cause
he should.
I don't want to be the one. I think it should be you guys. So
Go ahead, Senator.
go ahead. So what happened last Thursday?
Yeah, what happened?
We announced that there's a direct flight from Dublin to Pittsburgh on Aer Lingus.
It is huge.
That's fantastic.
Huge news.
I have to say that I know you just got back from Ireland, so I think that I have a million questions, but because I know you love going over there.
That's right.
But the very first airline that I visited when I got here in 2015, it was March of 2015, was Aer Lingus.
Wow.
It has taken 10 and a half, almost 11 years to bring that flight in. That's what I mean by competitive. In the meantime, they're looking at every other market in the U.S. because they wanted to expand their North American footprint. They got a lot of new aircraft. So for them to pick Pittsburgh means that there are other markets they didn't pick. We've been after them for a very long time. There's a lot of folks who have ancestral ties. Aren't you one of them?
Yeah, absolutely.
Have ancestral ties to Dublin. There's a lot of business that goes back and forth. UPMC has locations over there. I think that there's a lot of tech traffic that goes back and forth. So it's a good market.
PNC does, right? It's PNC.
Yeah, PNC,
PNC,
MSA.
MS. Oh, does my say?
Yeah.
Okay, MSA, great.
I just want to go reply over and go to Robinson's.
That's right. Robinson's Bars in Belfast. That's right.
A bunch of
I just went there in Belfast last week.
Very
I'm
nice.
jealous. I have not been to Belfast. That's a place I really want to go.
A lot of history. It's very interesting too.
Ever seen Blue Lights on BBC BritBox?
No.
It is a great series. Okay, I'll talk to
check
you about
that
that one later. Okay, but it takes place in Belfast,
Okay.
and I'm fascinated by it because it's very cultural.
Yeah. When we were there, we actually stopped at Crumley Jail. Crumley Road Jail. And one of my cousins was an alumni of which a graduate. So
That's hysterical.
had to take a tour.
That's fun. Did you watch Dairy Girls?
I have watched a couple episodes, and it is a very good series. Yeah.
I have to put the subtitles on it.
Yeah.
I actually have to watch it with subtitles.
This is like book recommendations. Like this is the show recommendations.
No, these,
by you two.
No,
We're
but
gonna put it out
Dairy
there.
Girls is
But
fun.
We're gonna hashtag all of them.
if you've ever been to Northern Ireland, you know that the murals are on the size of houses all over Derry and Belfast. And whenever you're walking around the old walled city of Derry, there is a mural for Derry girls.
Is there?
So yeah, that is
totally
something
going.
that everybody
I'm totally
goes
going
to check out. Yep.
What's amazing about this announcement on Aer Lingus is like it's right after the terminal
The opening, yeah.
Yeah, it was
It's
like great. I mean, momentum.
Yeah,
right out of the gate.
And I want to. I want to say there's two groups in particular. First of all, the state really came through and with helping us incent this flight, which is a really big deal. And second of all, the Steelers and what we were able to do in Dublin with that game and the people we were able to speak with and who was able to speak with Aer Lingus from this community. I mean, that was amazing. So I think that, that this is a big win for Pittsburgh Inc.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, you also have to give credit to the fans that traveled over there wearing black and gold.
That's my
and
point.
Yeah. And
because they were going to see
the executives
Steelers.
were just looking out the window and they were just like,
Are you kidding?
Man, look at how many people are here from Pittsburgh. I mean, it was easily 100-1.
We're going to do
Pittsburgh
it again.
to Minnesota.
It's going to be Pitt, Wisconsin.
That's right.
Coming up.
That's right.
So 27 or 28.
Yeah, 27.
Yeah.
Book early, book often, because you're going to need those.
Week 0 of 2027.
Is it?
Perfect.
Yeah.
So what's that time?
It's a week before Labor Day.
Oh,
It'll be
wow,
August.
that's going to be insane.
So they're doing it in August, not September. Okay.
Well, maybe we can get them to add extra sections, meaning like instead of if they fly 5 times a week, maybe
They got plenty of notice that we're coming over.
Yeah,
That's right.
That's very funny. Yeah, it's there's going to be a lot of traffic. I mean, for years people have said to me, if you ever get a flight to Dublin, I'm going to be on it. It's like, okay, well, let's see.
Let's see, right?
And then of course we've got the St. Patrick's Day parade. So
of course,
we'll see if we can get.
I've been to
over
a St.
that.
Patrick's Day parade in Dublin. So
I mean,
couple years ago.
I'd love to have
and-
some of them come
bring
over
them.
here and march in it. But
Well, that's one of the, we started the Pennsylvania-Ireland Trade Commission, and that was set up to establish ties between
Really?
The government, education, business, between the state and the island of Ireland.
yeah.
And so we're actually going to start bringing over delegates from the Irish government
Great.
to come over every St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, nice. Well, are you going to start with this one?
We hope so. So actually, that was one of the missions that I was over there for the last week, or when the podcast is aired 2 weeks ago. And I was meeting with the Irish senator, that is the chairman of the health committee in the Irish Senate. So we're hoping to get him to come over for Pittsburgh for St. Patrick's Day.
Great.
It looks like that may happen.
Okay. Well, we won't have the flight yet. The flight will start in May, just a heads up, right? It'll start on May 25th, which is Memorial Day. And it will be 4 times a week. It'll be 4 times a week to start, and then we'll hope to get to 5 times a week in 27. And I think they're going to fly 10 months out of the year. So January and February is traditionally pretty slow, but that's okay. It's service that we're going to build, right? I would rather have them start in something we know we can support, and then we'll see what the demand looks like and work with them on building the service profile.
Well, this is the first time that I actually went to Ireland in the winter. And, it rains all the time. My cousins always said, Pittsburgh looks like Ireland. It's the only place in the United States I've ever been that looks like Ireland.
It's funny.
And I said, because it rains all the time here, too.
Yeah.
But, all the Irish people were saying, oh, you came over during the worst time. It rains all the time here. It's cold. And I was like, I just left with 4 inches of snow. and I came back and it was 17 degrees. I mean, just because it's raining a little bit, you're still at 50 degrees in the winter,
Yeah.
So it was very nice, but it does get dark very early.
Yes, because it's that much further north. Yeah, I agree.
By about 3-4 o'clock, it starts getting pretty dark.
4 days a week that's pretty.
It's great. I mean, listen, it's going to be Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. Okay. So what we'll see is, and we still have the British Airways flight to London. It's going to be on an Airbus 321 Neo, and that's got, I think, a total of 184 seats. So 168 in coach, 16 in business. It's a lie flat business class product. And the big thing, this, you pre-clear. Dublin is a pre-clearance market. So when you're flying back from Dublin, you are in the United States when you are on that plane.
Yep.
So you don't come back to our
fantastic.
Customs and Border Protection
A lot faster
facility.
than-
Yeah, it's
seamless.
It's seamless. Yeah, you basically get off the plane as though you were a domestic passenger and you just leave. You don't have to go through customs.
So the strategy is people like in Europe may just fly to Dublin, right, to come back to Pittsburgh.
It depends. I mean, the nice thing is once you have critical mass, you actually, this is very well documented. You will start to see more people travel because they have more confidence that they can get home somehow. So for European service, right? So we have BA, we have Icelandair, we'll have Aer Lingus. That all of a sudden makes people feel like, oh, well, if I can go over and I can still get back some other way if something happens to my flight, or if it's not flying back on that day. So it's a strategy, and it's also because these are markets that we know are going to be successful. Dublin is going to be successful.
So how many Robinsons do you have over there flying over to Pittsburgh?
Oh, there's going to be quite a bit. When
Your
they
turn
know,
to host.
yeah.
Family reunion once a
Your
quarter
turn
in
to
Pittsburgh.
host.
they haven't been here in a couple years, so I think that now that we have a direct flight, that there's going to be a family reunion coming up soon.
That's nice, and it'll be and you can hold up a sign at the airport since you'll be picking them all up.
Well,
Anyway.
that's fantastic.
Yeah, and thanks to you guys for everything that you've done to help, obviously, because it takes a lot. It really takes a lot of partnerships to make stuff like this work. We're going to be working with Visit Pittsburgh. They're going to be doing a lot to make sure that people want to come over here as tourists and to see a Steelers game,
Right.
like in Acrisure Stadium. That's different than watching them play in Dublin, right? So we're going to want to make sure that there's it's more than the flight, right? It's tourism, it's economic development, it's it's visiting friends and relatives. It's so much more than a flight.
Well, and timing, if it's May, is going to be nice because the World Cup. They're going to be coming over here.
That's right. Yeah.
And hopefully they fly into Pittsburgh.
Hopefully they qualify,
can-
by the way.
Well, that's
Ireland's
Well, they're
hopefully
playing Italy.
Ireland qualifies.
I don't know if I'm kind of. I got both. I got Irish and I got Italian blood in me.
Me too.
So this is going to hurt. That game. It's in March actually.
Yeah.
That game's up there. I think they're hosting
Who?
Northern Ireland.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think they're hosting Italy. I think it's like
Interesting.
some.
All right. Well,
March.
we have a lot to watch between now and then.
We do.
Yep.
But this is fantastic. I think our time is up, but I want to thank you guys.
Yeah, thank
for
you.
doing the
Thank you.
podcast.
Yeah.
This was fun.
This
Yeah.
is great.
I like his coat.
Yeah, I like his coat too.
Jacket. It's a great jacket.
Just picked it up in
So
Sligo.
this is it.
Ireland.
It's like this is
That's
the
right.
premiere of the coat, right?
That's right.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
This is exclusive to Sligo tweed.
Is it? Oh, like a Harris tweed.
That's right.
Okay. I mean, yeah. Got it.
Thank you for tuning in to this edition of Insight and Influence. To learn more about C&G strategies and to access previous editions, visit our website at cgstrategiespa.com.